What's up guys, TC here and welcome back to Starbound, and today I am incredibly excited because I am finally releasing my Starbound Battle Facility World download. So this is something that's been a long time in the making, about 2 months now. I've been teasing it off for a while, and it is finally ready for public release. So this video is going to be me kind of showing you guys how to download it, how to install it, as well as it's be cut in kind of two halves. The first half is going to be me just showing you how to do it if you don't know how to do a world download. And the second half is going to be me kind of giving some tips and tricks on how to have the most fun with this, like what's the most balance, like what you should and shouldn't do, and just kind of give you some details on the Starbound Battle Facility. So the first half should take like 5 minutes, the second half probably take like 10 or 15. So with that being said, let's jump into it. The first thing you're going to want to do is go on down to the description box of this video, and you're going to see a link to a Dropbox, and it's going to contain the Starbound Battle Facility .world download. It should be about 42,000 kilobytes. Just download that. That's the first step you need to do. Second step you need to do here is I need you to go on Starbound. I need you to travel to just some random world that you don't care about, something there's nothing on there you built or anything like that. Your best bet is just to go to some random new world. So if you need to do that real quick, you can pause this video. I am already over a new world, so once you have gotten to that world, all you're going to do is beam down to it. It should take you a moment just to beam down. Once you get down here, you're just going to immediately beam back up. Alright, so now that we are on our ship, we're going to go ahead and exit, and take note of the time. It is 2:11 p.m. here, so we're going to go ahead and save and quit. Now, we are going to open up. We're going to navigate over to, you're going to navigate to your, this is where you install your mods. Let's get this off the screen. There we go. So this is going to be where you would have your mods. Like your Starbound file, like where you would put those. It's going to have like your giraffe and koala storage, your assets, all that stuff right there. You're going to go to the storage folder, right? Click storage, and then you're going to go to your universe file. And in here, you're going to look, and you're going to kind of sort this by date modified. And you're going to see on here, there's going to be all kinds of client context, .system, .index, .dat, and then the most recent one at 2:11 for the .world. You're going to see it right here. It's got this big long stream of numbers, right? And that was at 2:11 p.m. That's the time I beamed down. So what we're going to do real quick is we are going to right-click this, and we're going to copy the name of this world, right? So copy. Now we're going to go ahead and delete it. Right? So delete that world file. Now I need you to go to your downloads, right? And you're going to find that file that I gave you. It's called Starbound Battle Facility .world. You're going to click and drag it in here, right? And then you're going to find it. And now we are going to rename the Starbound Battle Facility World to that file name that we just deleted, right? And just hit enter. And so now what we've basically done is replace that world we just beamed down to with my Battle Facility World. So we can go ahead and close this stuff out. We're going to go back to Starbound. And once we log in with our character, we'll be back on our ship. And if we hit beam down, we should pop up on our Battle Facility as long as we did everything right. And there you have it, folks. We are on the Battle Facility. You should spawn on this teleporter, which will allow you to immediately save it to whatever you want. And it's as simple as that. So just make sure you register it. This world is now the whole Battle Facility. So if you guys are just here to just immediately jump on this and play as soon as possible, I suggest you, now you just go grab it. But if you want to learn more, and I really suggest you do stick around for the second half of this video, just so you can kind of know some tricks, some kind of things. That's the way the facility works in general. I suggest you stick around. So let's kind of jump into it. This is kind of the main area. I know this says store on it, but it's not an actual store. It's just a set of lockers that contain all the weapons and stuff like that, the armor. So my suggestions for this, obviously, first off, I would suggest, if you can, to play this in vanilla. So maybe have like your primary Starbound like stable build with your mods, and then unstable with no mods, and just play it on unstable because they are the same build right now. Another thing I would suggest is to play this on casual. So that means the one without hunger. I know my character here has hunger. That's because I literally just corrupted a character like 20 minutes ago by accident, messing around with something. So play with a character that's in casual, that doesn't have the hunger bar, because you don't want to be eating. You don't have to worry about hunger. You don't want to drop all your crap. And also, these facilities are balanced around the idea that you have to collect healing orbs, or you have to have some kind of other method to heal. And when you eat, you passively gain health anyway, so it kind of breaks the arenas a little bit. Another thing I would suggest is make sure you only use the equipment and the armor and stuff that I've provided. So you'll see in this top right one here, you'll see each one of these lockers is actually labeled. This one's armor, staffs, this is melee, the other one's guns, I think. But these are the armor sets, and you're just going to put these on, and you don't put them in the like vanity slots. You put them in the actual regular slot for your armor, as well as your back item. And these back items, these are just the normal in-game armors, but they've been retextured to be these. As well as this one here is actually a mobility set, which kind of gives you increased mobility. The back sets here, you got like damage boosting ones, defense, energy, speed, low grav, healing, and jumper, which kind of boosts your jump. Wear these armor sets. Don't wear, if you walk into these arenas with your Frackin' Universe armor and your tier 10 shotgun, you're going to cut through these things like butter, and you're not going to have fun. So my suggestion would be to, wear these armor sets, use these weapons, at least for your first run through, because it's balanced for these and these only. If you bring in something from the outside, it might not work, it might break. And on top of it, if you're using something modded, there is a chance that if the mod you're using heavily modifies the game, it might outright, change some of the effects of these monsters and the stuff you're using. So with that being said, let's jump into like one of these arenas, just to give you an idea of how they work. This is just a testing area, just so you can test on Punchy what you want. You'll see they are labeled 0-1 all the way through 0-1 through 18. Most of them are almost all the same as far as functionality. You'll find all of them have like either a button to close and open the door, or you just open the door manually, and then they'll have a switch somewhere. When you turn on these switches, the way it works is these arenas go on infinitely. Like, they will keep playing and they will keep spawning monsters until you turn it off. Either you die and you have to come back later and turn it off, or you played it for 15-20 minutes and you're bored of it and you turn it off manually. I should point out, you should always play every arena at least 5 minutes, because some of them have like a ramping up in difficulty. Like, after they've been going for a minute or two, they start spawning in extra monsters, which you wouldn't see in the beginning. So definitely give them at least 5 minutes. You'll see they all kind of play differently. They all kind of have different themes. This one's kind of like a robotics testing lab, so everything in here is robotic. And like I said, they will go on infinitely, which kind of brings me to my next point. This facility is pretty big, and so you'll see these little buttons kind of spread throughout this facility, and these things kind of give you a big power-up. So if you die, first off, you're going to see they boost your speed dramatically. Look at that. They allow you to kind of jump really high and traverse around this facility really quickly. They cut off all your fall damage, so you don't die or you don't take any fall damage or anything like that. They also give you complete invincibility. So what that means, if you die in that arena over there, and there's a bunch of monsters, but you want to get back in and turn it off, you just hit this little button and it'll power you up, and you can walk in there and turn it off manually, and you don't have to worry about dying over and over again. It does only last for 15 seconds, but these things are pretty well spread out throughout the facility. You'll see that they are kind of all over the map, these facilities. My suggestion, because here's the issue, these things range in difficulty from very easy to incredibly hard, outright impossible with one player. The first ones, like 1 through 10, I would say, are on the easier side, like easy to medium. And then kind of from 10 up, they start ramping up in difficulty a lot. So if you are... this is the tricky part, is I had to make these facilities fun for everybody. Like, I had to make them... some of us are terrible. Some of you guys are a bunch of, are terrible like I am. And some of you are pros. Like, I had to make really, really difficult maps for those people. So, it's important to kind of play around, test each one out for what you like, and then if you find ones you can't beat, invite your friends to come play it. I've got 2 on the opposite side. You'll see that we're kind of on the east side of the facility now. It's just kind of this big tube that goes up and down, and you'll find them all along here. On the far west side over this direction, you'll find another set, like another tube like this, that contains another set of arenas. Those are considerably harder. There's a couple over there, I think there's 2, that are just outright impossible with one player. I even have one that it comes equipped with 2 NPCs to fight with you, and even with those NPCs, it's not enough to beat it, so you still need a friend to help you take that one on. There is 2 notable exceptions to these arenas. Let me hop out of admin mode. There we go. And so here, most of them will go on infinitely. There is one over here which spawns in a... basically, when you hit this button, it spawns in a boss. And this is the only boss fight I have, and it only spawns in one boss. I didn't want it to be on some kind of timer, because, say it's like a 10-minute timer. If you don't beat the boss in 10 minutes, adding a second boss is not going to make it any more fun. So this one, when you click this button, one boss will spawn in, and only one boss. And so if you want to spawn in a second one, you'd have to hit it again, but trust me, you don't want to spawn in a second one. The other one here, that's a different one than the others, all the way down. You can see we're passing all kinds of ones here. Is number 10 here. This is a PvP arena, so this one has no monsters or anything on it. This is just for you and your buddies. You can turn it on. The way this one works is it's like symmetrical, so on the other side it's just identical to this but flipped. Both of you go on these little chambers, and when you both hit this little lever at the same time, as long as both of you have activated your lever, this door will open, and that's kind of the start of the arena. That way you both have equal starts, because there are power-ups spread throughout this arena, so you kind of want to race to them. But other than that, you're going to find that these arenas are very diverse. They all have very different, they all function a little bit differently. Some of them are static, some of them are dynamic. You know, some of them have like changing environments. Like this one here has a lot of obstacles on it and very little monsters, and some of them are all monsters and very little obstacles. So there is another thing I want to point out. There is a bug with just Starbound in general. It's not anything to do with my weapons or this map or anything like that. It's just a default thing in Starbound right now. Something's going on. If you have too many weapons in your hotbar and you switch between them too often, sometimes it just crashes your game, and that has absolutely nothing to do with my weapons or this arena. That's just default in Starbound. You can be out in a regular world exploring and open a chest and put the weapon in your hotbar, and it'll crash your game. If you do happen to experience that crash, it won't delete your character or anything. What'll happen is when you spawn back in, you just hit Q to throw the weapon out of your inventory. You'll crash one more time throwing it, but then when you respawn or you start the game again, you won't crash anymore. Which kind of leads to my next point. The best way I would recommend playing this is obviously wearing the armor that I've provided for you guys, but also if you're going to play solo, I recommend you only carry 2 weapons, or like 2 hotbar slots, right? So like maybe 2 pistols and like an assault rifle, or 2 assault rifles or something like that, but don't carry more than 2. Part of the fun is, you know, working with unique weapons in the environments, and different arenas are going to kind of constitute themselves to different weapon types and playstyles. Now if you have more than one person with you, so like 2-player, then I recommend you just carry 1 weapon. That way you can kind of solidify your roles and stuff like that in the arena. You guys have to kind of work as a team. So what we just ran over here, by the way, this is the entire left half of the facility. These are all the considerably harder ones. Real quick, I'll show you the one that has 2 NPCs defaulted into it. That's right over here. Here it is. So these guys are your NPCs. They are on your team. If they die, they will respawn. Something that does occasionally happen, it's kind of annoying, is obviously they do give you, they will reward you with random crap. You don't really need to collect it. And also sometimes this little bugger over here will put you on a quest. Just decline it. There's no point. You don't want to risk this guy turning into like a crew member and then losing him, because trust me, you're going to need it on this one. It's very hard. So just decline it if he happens to give you a quest. But I think that's going to wrap it up. You know, this thing, it's a huge facility. I put a lot of work into it, and I'm not going to tell you it's completely flawless and, you know, it's completely bug-free. I don't think it has any bugs that I know of. I've made sure to fix any of those. But I definitely recommend you kind of have fun and just experiment. There's all kinds of crazy weapons on here, even ones I haven't included in my my tutorials and stuff like that, or my custom creations. So you'll find there are a lot of like hidden weapons in here that I didn't include. For all the 2-handed weapons, you'll see there's only 1 of them, but if it's a 1-handed thing, like these Marauder pistols, you'll see there's 2. Same with these pistols, the SMGs, these little 1-handed things, like these little spike cannons here, 1-handed. Anything like that, you'll see there's 2 of them in here. And yes, I think that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, I mean, I worked really hard on this, so if you guys have any, you know, like if you played it and you like it, let me know what you liked in the comment section. I worked really hard on it. Definitely play, experiment, give each one of these things a chance. Invite your friends and play, see how you know, what roles you can fill. With multiplayer, obviously you can do, there's a lot of support weapons in here. There are assault weapons. There's kind of like, you know, hybrid weapons that do multiple things. I highly recommend you don't run into like using a support weapon by yourself, because you will not make it. You know, if you're by yourself, stick to a regular assault type weapon. But if you're playing in a team, then yeah, bring up, you know, it's not bad to be a support player. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, if you guys want to see, you know, what kind of thing you want to see next, I'd like to make something else like this, another world download one day. I don't know if it'll be another facility world like this, or maybe like an adventure map. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to decide. You guys let me know what you want to see, and maybe we can work with it. Maybe I can get working on something else. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please rate, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to y'all later.